Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 23rd, 2024 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm, which gets it seen by more people. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels, and spirit guides. I love how everything, Virgo, is just jumping right out for you. Fantastic. Okay. So we are crowned here by the Six of Cups reversed, meaning that we are going to be very connected with the past. We are going to be very kind of like intertwined with our childhood, with past things that we have been through. It doesn't have to go back as far as our childhood, but it usually does. With the Six of Cups reversed, it's not necessarily we're bringing up the nicest of memories. And it's more like, I have to show myself that I can do this, right? I failed here, or this was criticized over me, or, they didn't think I would be able to achieve or succeed or move forward the way that I want to. And now I'm going to show them. So just be very mindful about this during this time, that we're kind of running away from who we once were, or who we once were perceived to be. And this full moon is in Sagittarius. So this full moon is bringing forward the revelations of the intentions that we put into the universe 6 months ago. On the 12th of December, we set our intentions. We said, this is what I want for my world and for myself. And now we're going to start seeing it come forward from that new moon in Sagittarius to this full moon in Sagittarius. This full moon is all about joy, and it's all about intention. Now, it's also interesting here, especially with starting with the Six of Cups reverse, which shows struggles and hardships. This can be from our childhood. This can be also from, I'm also seeing like a very early marriage, like somebody who got married very, very young. Well, maybe not very, very young, but you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who got married young and left that relationship, or struggled through the growing pains of that relationship into where they are now. But I see it more as they left that relationship, and sometimes the insecurities of what that person said or how they viewed that as a failure comes through. So just be mindful about this during this time. But this is going to be a struggle of something that you thought was going to be rather easy, and it hadn't turned out that way. It's like, wow, life is harder than the idea of doing something. Living it is harder than the idea of having it. Now, with Sagittarius full moon in the Sabian symbolism, this is that of a little child learning how to walk. And what we're going to see here is that though this time can feel slow, right? It is actually going to bring with it great transformations, great milestones. We have here the Three of Pentacles. We have here working with others. We have here connection, knowing our space and our place, how we move forward, where it is that we want to be, what it is that we want to build, what it is that we are, stepping into. It brings us then to the repeat of the number three, the Three of Swords, which plays into the energy of hurt that I was seeing here with the Six of Cups reversed. The Three of Swords is heartbreak, pain, and disappointment, right? It is devastation. It is I can't instead of I can. It is, this broke my heart. This made me feel like I couldn't. I feel very emotional right now, so do excuse me. But with the Three of Swords, it's a sense of like, wow. And it's a devastation that maybe nobody else gets. They're kind of like, oh, get over it. And you probably hear that a lot, like, oh, get over it. Like, you shouldn't be so emotional about this, or it's not that big a deal, or, listen to my problems, right? Right, Virgo? It's like, oh, listen to my problems. They're bigger than your problems. It's like, oh, great. Okay. Thank you. What we're going to see here is we're going to need to look at these three big hurts, these three big things that changed our lives or the way that we perceive the world. And it brings us then to the King of Swords reverse. The King of Swords is one of the most masculine of the kings. We can be having a hard time with King of Swords energy, with Swords energy. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We can be having a hard time with really embracing our voice and our thoughts and what we want. There can also be somebody in our life that is just using facts almost against us. And I don't mean that in a way that like things shouldn't be factual or we should just live in daydream world, because during this full moon in Sagittarius, it is very easy to live in daydream world because Neptune is so close to this moon and so closely linked to this moon during this time, is that we can fall into the realm of dreams. You know, Neptune is the ruler of the unseen world, the ruler of the dream world. And so here with the King of Swords reverse, there is a question of like, how do I embrace my voice? How do I know what it is that I want? And then when people say to us, oh, that's not factual, that's not practical, we're going to be like, oh yeah, you're right. You know, I did it wrong type of thing. So just being mindful of that energy here with the King of Swords reverse is going to be very important. And we're also going to have, or can have, very negative self-talk come into play, meaning that we can doubt ourselves. We can say, you know, you've always done this. And we're going to be very quick to pull up examples of where we failed, where we didn't do things right, or the way that somebody else thought they should be, or even the way that we thought it should be. We thought it should be easier than it actually was. And again, thinking of something and the doing of something are two very, very different things. We then have here the Eight of Pentacles. And this is hard work and dedication and determination. I love here how she's painting butterfly wings. I mean, that's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. And what we're going to see here with the Eight of Pentacles reversed is that we're not really going to be into it. We're not going to be into the minutia of it all, the monotony of it all. And we can feel like work is monotonous. We can feel like, you know, I just want to run into my dream world. I want to run into escapism. And that's cool. You know, that's why we have movies and books and things like that. But with the Nine of Swords, with the Nine of Wands reverse, we're also done listening to everybody else. It's like, I need to see me. I need to listen to me. I need to understand me. And that's going to be important here, because this full moon, even though we're learning how to walk, right? In the Sabian, you know, symbolism, it's the full moon in Sagittarius is the child learning how to walk. What we're seeing is, my gosh, I keep falling down. My gosh, I just can't get it right. Look at everybody else. They can do this. And I can't. And that's going to be a very common thought that we're going to have in our head. Look, excuse me. Everybody else can do this, but I can't. Stop being so hard on yourself, Virgo. Know that it is hard for everybody. You know, what you see is not necessarily representative of what the person is going through on the inside. So you may think, oh, wow, that person has it so easy. And they may be looking at you and thinking the exact same thing for an entirely different reason. So just be aware of this. Let me just take a sip of water. All right. So now let's see what Spirit has to say. Now, if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a flower in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on Sunday, so good luck to everyone. And if you are interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. Here we have faith that just jumped forward. We have to have faith in ourselves, and we can be frustrated with faith right now. We can be frustrated with things. It's not going as smoothly as I wanted it to go. I'm not making the headway that I wanted to make. But here we haven't lost our faith. Our faith isn't reversed. It's just connecting with it again. It's saying, okay, listen, you know, King of Swords energy, when it's reversed, my gosh, can we do a number on ourselves with our own internal talk? We can do a number on ourselves with listening to somebody who's very factual, very pragmatic. And yeah, that's great for them to be that way. But at times we need to be more healing and more compassionate. So with faith reversed, it is seeing ourselves again. It is stepping into our faith, whether that be in orthodoxy or whether that be, I have faith in the changing of the seasons. I have faith in a tree. I have faith that, you know, the things go on. You know, the time moves on. I have faith in that. We don't have to have faith in an all-seeing, all-powerful being. You know, we can question things, and we can be questioning things. If there is a God, you know, then how is there such cruelty in this world and everything like that? We might be having a bit of a conflict of faith, but we still have faith in something bigger than ourselves, but in the beauty of the world, in the beauty of people. Not all people aren't beautiful. You know, they don't have beautiful souls, but those who do, who are able to shine their light and move forward in that energy through a crazy world. That's an extraordinary thing. That's a profound thing. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is meditation Virgo, meditation is going to be very, very, very important for you during this time. Though, of course, it is, if you're like me or like most people, meditation is the first thing we throw out the window when life gets crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. I have too much to do. But meditating, connecting with ourselves, going for walks or making, washing the dishes, a meditative task can be very, very, very important. Listening to our heart, stepping into our body, that is going to be a very powerful thing. This is our crown chakra, and crowning ourselves with the gift of meditation, crowning ourselves with slowing down and connecting, that is powerful. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly, angels. This is the Eight of Cups reverse. Be mindful. There's something we need to walk away from that we're not really ready to walk away from. So do be mindful about this during this time, that we're kind of lingering with something that was like, we've overstayed our welcome. It's overstayed its welcome. We need to change it, but we're not really wanting to, or it's scary too, which is of course the case, especially if you found that you moved a lot as a child, or you found that, this could even be this could even be being an army partner or a military partner where you found yourself moving around a lot. So just being aware of that. I don't know why that's coming through so powerfully, but it is. Or you could have just changed schools a lot. There was something here that was unstable. So being aware of this with the Six of Cups is going to be important. It is going to be important also that we're looking back at the child that we once were. And instead of saying wow, what a cute kid I was, I was adorable, we're saying, well, I should have known this. It's how should you have known this? Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. With the Three of Pentacles, it's hard work, it's dedication, it's determination, it's collaboration. You're not in this alone. Even if you feel like you are, your angels and your spirit guides are working with you. There's beauty and there's magic in the mundane, everyday connection with things. You're going to be seeing yourself stepping into your power. Be very, very mindful of people wanting to take credit for what you're doing, though, during this time. And you're working through a broken heart. So that's also a case here with the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, is, yeah, it's a broken heart. It can be, challenges with the heart as well. It could be physical or, spiritual. It doesn't really matter, but it's affected your heart. Don't build walls around it. It is time to look at things and say, I've had these three major setbacks in my life, or these three major things that I'm heartbroken over. Now it is time to name them and not hide from them anymore, or not give them all this power so that they weigh me down, they pull me down, they keep me from moving forward the way that I need to and the way that I want to. With the King of Swords reversed, it's embracing our voice. It is saying, this is what I want, this is how I'm moving forward, and this is where I need to be. And that is going to be just a huge challenge for us, even to validate our voice or to say what it is that we want and not be overwhelmed and not be scared and not overthink it. The King of Swords reverse, any sword reverse card, especially the court cards, are us overthinking it to the umpteenth millionth degree, especially if we're in a place of authority. If we are the rulers over this domain of our life, we're going to be questioning, second guessing, over analyzing, so we just don't make a move because it just has to be perfect, right? First step forward has to be perfect, but it's not going to be. It's going to be a first step. When a kid takes a first step, shortly thereafter, they tumble down, they fall down. They just don't start running off into the sunset type of thing. So no, we've been there before. We've been beginners. This is a milestone time for us. This is a profound change time for us. Our dreams are coming through very, very powerfully. We're ruled by Mercury. So when swords are reversed, Mercury plays really highly into sword energy because it's all about communication and travel. And when it's reversed, it's like, I'm not communicating well enough. We can be really harsh on ourselves for even just having to stop and think about words. People sit there and they're like, oh, well, everything should just come quickly and you should just be talking. It should just be fluid and everything like that. But you need to stop and think. You need to stop and connect with your words. If you're writing something, it's going to take time. Set it aside for a little bit. Let yourself, decompress. Or even, I know it sounds silly to say, but use AI to your advantage. And if you're having a block with something, just put things in and see what ideas come up through AI. And then it's like, oh, well, that can clear the cobwebs. Or, oh, that's interesting and wrong. I'm not using that type of deal. So here, with the King of Swords, it doesn't have to be so strict. We're going to want to be super strict with ourselves when it comes to our voice, when it comes to our words, when it comes to the way that we see things. The Eight of Pentacles reverse, we're not into it. We're not into whatever we have to do. We're like, look, do I have to? Do I have to do this? Painting butterfly wings sounds beautiful. It sounds beautiful, but it can be, oh my gosh, I have to hold these icky butterflies again, and I have to paint their wings so gently. I have to this, I have to that, I have to make it beautiful. I'm not coming up with any new ideas. So a fairy tale thing can turn into a drudgery. So just be aware of that, because most of us aren't painting butterfly wings, right? We are working and we are doing our very best. And it can feel like drudgery. And we can be like, I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to answer to anybody screaming my name, anybody having a trauma drama. I just don't want to. I don't want to be needed by one more person, demanded by one more thing, anything like that. And that is cool. We can not want that. But we also need to show up for ourselves, show up for our own prosperity. But just note, be gentler with yourself during this time. On the 23rd of May, be gentle with yourself. For the time the full moon is big in the sky, there's 3 days that the full moon is big in the sky, but also, when we're looking at everything that we have to do and we're being super harsh on ourselves and demanding more, step back and say, what can I cut out in order to be successful, in order to be prosperous in my day, in my time, in my way? And it brings us to the 9 of Wands. Stop listening to everybody. Stop listening to everybody demanding and stating and pulling your time this way, pulling your time that way, pulling you this way, pulling you that way. You have to do this. You have to do that. It's overwhelming. Slow, steady, and methodical. This moon ruled in Sagittarius, right? In Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, it enhances. It enhances the good, right? But Jupiter also enhances the bad. And this is going to be a time where we're releasing so much. And Jupiter is enhancing a sense of freedom, a sense of healing. And that is going to be a very profound thing. And that is a very profound thing for us. But we can feel battered, we can feel bruised, we can have a bit of shoulder, elbow pain, headaches. So just be aware of this. Our subconscious spirit message is love reversed. We're kind of mad at love. We are. And I know that sounds silly to say, but we could be mad that it isn't as easy as the fairy tales make it out to be, as the storybooks make it out to be. We could be mad that love isn't enough, right? It just isn't enough at times. What is there? The Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. And then there's another song that says love just isn't enough. And you can't love a person better. And that's true. But love is the most powerful words. What is one of the most powerful word, or the most powerful word we can possibly say. And we're not saying, I love you enough to ourselves. And this is time to say, I can't change anybody else. I can't do it for anybody else, but I will be doing it for me. I will be falling in love with me. I will be showing up in my life. I will be embracing love, moving forward in love, and surrounding myself in love. Because I am in love with my life, warts and all. Virgo, because sometimes we look at life and we're like, whoa, that's intense. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra message, which is angels and masters. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. We are deeply protected by our angels, by our spirit guides. They are cocooning us. They are loving us, guiding us, opening our world forward for us in such a healing, powerful way. You are never alone during this time, even though this is quite an intense time. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of the fool. We can be being very foolish during this time, so do be mindful about that, or very also concerned about what everybody else thinks. Remember, every single hero's journey starts with first being a fool, and we're afraid. We are afraid to take those steps, but also, we could be going too quickly into something and being a little bit foolish with the way that we think it's going to work out. Slow it down, but don't be afraid to try. So I know that sounds contradictory. I know it is contradictory, but that's what Spirit is showing. Slow it down, but don't be afraid to try. It moves us then to our tarot message, which is the 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles, I love this card. I love this deck. It's in the description box below if you're interested. This is the Nine of Pentacles: prosperity, success, bounty, abundance. There's beauty here. There's hard work that has been done. Absolutely. And there's hard work that still needs to be done. But the Nine of Pentacles is saying be present. And subconsciously, we are present. And that is beautiful. We know that there is more to do in our world. We know that there is, complexities to things, but we're showing up and we're embracing our world and ourselves. And that is a beautiful thing. All right. All right, Virgo. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. Now, please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Virgo, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye, Virgo.